Welcome to Daily Magic, a cozy corner of the world where you're invited to rediscover and experience the abundant magic that dances through your life. This podcast is slow living wrapped in sparkles, self-love woven with inspiration, and mindfulness dipped in wonder. So brew up a cup of tea in your favorite mug. Settle into your comfiest chair and join me, Shaina Wexler, as we allow ourselves this respite to romanticize our lives and revel in daily magic. Hello, my beautiful friend. I am so very happy that you are here. How are you feeling today? How is your week going so far? I hope that despite whatever may feel heavy and dark around you, that you are feeling hopeful and bright and light. But no matter how you are feeling as you listen today, I want to remind you that you are welcome here just as you are, okay? And of course, I hope that by the end of our magical exploration in this episode today, we're both seeing the world around us with a bit more warmth and inspiration. And before we head into today's topic, the magic of earthing, I would, of course, love to know what beverage you have prepared to sip on for our daily magic tea time today, okay? I am sipping I am sipping on a gentle jasmine tea, and I have chosen that for this occasion because it is past midnight, so I should not be drinking something with a crazy amount of caffeine. Yet, I do need to finish recording, editing, and uploading this episode, so I need just a little gentle bit of caffeine in there. So it is very lovely and floral and beautiful, and it is certainly hitting the spot and the need of the moment for right now. And I have it in the most massive mug that you can really imagine. So all is well on my side here. So now that we are settled and cozy and sipping on our tea, let's explore the magic of earthing. And now, right off the bat, just like right at the top, I want to say that for those of you who hear the title of this episode and immediately think that it sounds really hippy-dippy, you are wrong. No, I'm just kidding. No, I want to say that although there are tons of web pages and books and sources available to draw from for the information on these benefits of earthing, which is also referred to as grounding. You may have heard it as grounding. This is such a magical and positively impactful practice. Like, it is so powerful and so healing that I really wanted to make sure that each beautiful friend who is listening to this is able to really receive this information with open minds and open hearts. So because of this, I want you to know that all of the health references and research that I cite in this episode will be coming directly from WebMD, okay? So now that is out of the way, what is earthing, you may ask? What is grounding exactly? And luckily for both of us, earthing is very much exactly what it sounds like. Earthing is the practice of connecting our physical bodies to the earth, to the ground. So this can be achieved by standing barefoot on the ground, basically having our bare skin in contact with the ground. And why would we do this? What's the point? Well, so glad you asked. Our planet, turns out, is a ridiculously magical place. And I don't know if you know this, but the Earth actually has a natural electric charge with lots and lots of negatively charged electrons at the surface, on the surface. And this is really important because in the modern age that we are currently living, we tend to have very, very little to actually no contact with the Earth's surface anymore. And because of that, our bodies end up building up way too many positively charged ions. And this overload of positively charged ions within our bodies creates free radicals, which can cause damage to our cells and proteins and DNA, and are a major contributor to lots of diseases, including cancer and heart disease and neurodegenerative diseases as well. And the ridiculously, awesomely magical thing about earthing is that when we spend time in contact with the Earth's surface, our bodies naturally absorb the negative electrons from the ground, and those negative electrons neutralize the positive ions in our bodies and brings us back into balance. We are absorbing natural antioxidants from the earth when we are earthing. Isn't that freaking incredible? That's incredible. And research has actually documented that the practice of earthing lowers inflammation, which of course we know is a key contributor to many diseases, so many diseases. And earthing heals wounds, and it can counteract cardiovascular diseases and respiratory issues and autoimmune conditions, type 2 diabetes, and even cancer. And it also eases stress and improves our sleep. And there are even studies that show that there were patients that began to experience pain relief, like physical pain relief, with 30 minutes of that grounding contact. But the really, really cool thing is that research also shows that for the most part, we can receive the magic of earthing if we spend even as little as 10 minutes grounding per day. If we make this a practice that we do even just 10 minutes, we can receive all of those magical, crazy, awesome benefits from the earth. And wait, there's more. If all of that still does not motivate you to get outside and get barefoot on the grass, I will have you know that earthing also has emotionally therapeutic benefits as well. It helps to ease anxiety. It elicits overall feelings of wellness, and it makes us feel more supported and grounded and held and protected by something larger. And this is actually something that I have experienced firsthand this year. And actually, that was the main motivator in me creating this episode for you at all. As most of you know, there was a point about this time last year when a lot in my life really broke apart all at the same time. And I was experiencing so much grief and loss. And there were many days when I was feeling really lost, like kind of spinning and not sure which way was up or like where my North Star was. And it was at that time that one of my spiritual mentors told me about earthing, and she recommended that I make it a habit of spending at least 20 minutes per day connecting to the earth in this way. And at the time, I was already going on hour and a half long walks and jogs with Étoile each day. So I figured it really couldn't hurt to just add this practice in while we were already out and about and in nature. And so Étoile and I found this really peaceful, grassy hill that we would stop by each day. And I would take off my shoes and socks, and I would sit kind of curled up in a ball with my feet flat on the ground. And a lot of the times I would press my palms into the ground as well. And I found that when I was earthing, my swirling and racing thoughts would really slow, and my overflowing emotions that really just felt like they were crashing out everywhere really felt like they had a safe place and space to flow where they needed to. So often I sat there. I sat there earthing, shoes and socks off, with tears just really flowing down my cheeks. But it felt like productive grief, like healing grief, not just total despair, right? That different color, that different tone to that feeling. And sitting on the earth in that way, taking the time to tune in, really, really helped me to feel in my body, in like a bodily way, that I was connected to something larger, that I was protected in some kind of way, which helped to make me feel like I wasn't just spinning out into space untethered and alone. It is really, really supportive and healing in that way. And so the practice of earthing, for really a lack of a better way of saying it, was really grounding for me. And I feel really grateful that I received that information and advice when I did. And now I've been really trying to impart it to everyone that I feel it might benefit, which is why I am sharing it with you today, my beautiful friend. And I want to interject here that there are apparatuses, mats that you can purchase that simulate the effects of earthing, right? That kind of help balance the positive ions by using negative electrons to do that. So there are things that you can buy that will simulate this experience, but I personally hold the belief that nothing can truly substitute the incredible physical and spiritual and emotional magic that is experienced by actually going out into actual nature. And I also know you beautiful friends well enough to know that as you listen to this information, you are feeling motivated to add this practice into your life. You are feeling motivated to get yourself outside and get your feet on the ground or in the dirt, right? I know that. And I also know that with the busyness and the pacing of our lives and schedules, even the best intentions sometimes get forgotten or placed on the shelf, right? So even though, as I said, and I will say again, there is no replacement for actual time in nature, I want to make sure that you receive as much benefit from this episode as possible. So I did a little more research and found out that the National Institute of Health reports that even though the effects are much stronger actually out in nature, that even just viewing images of nature positively impacts our mental health and even our physical well-being by reducing stress and improving attention and promoting relaxation. So, with that in mind, I have created a short earthing meditation to bring our minds and our imaginations as vividly into these magical elements of nature and this magical earthing practice as we're able to in this moment. You can do this meditation with your eyes closed, or you can opt to put a compelling photo of nature up on your screen to look at while I guide you through this, okay? And again, I invite you, my beautiful friend, to follow this meditation up by immediately heading outside into your own corner of nature and giving the magic of earthing a go for real, okay? So I encourage you to take a moment here to find your way into a grounded, seated posture in a quiet location, free from distractions, where you'll be able to truly tune in. And as you're finding your seat, let's take a few deep breaths together to find our way into our bodies and into this moment and allow ourselves to really be. Okay? So let's go ahead and take about 3 deep belly inhalations, and we're going to let the air go through pursed lips, kind of as if you were about to whistle, that kind of pursed push with the lips forward in that way. And feel free to take your time with this exhalation process. It doesn't need to all be forced out really fast. This is something that you can kind of do a gentle, consistent stream of air out, that pursed lip embouchure. Okay, so here we go. Big, deep belly inhale. And really take your time on the exhale. And go ahead and take these next couple of breaths at your own pace, taking your time on that exhale, breathing in again when you feel ready, allowing that air to exhale through those whistle lips, using this breath to really activate our parasympathetic system and bring us into a relaxed, released, peaceful state. Go ahead and take 1 or 2 more of these breaths depending on the pacing that you have. Good. And if you're ready, here we go. Take this peaceful moment to conjure up an image of nature in your mind's eye. Perhaps it's a place you know well, like your nearby park or your own backyard. Perhaps it's the indelible image from your favorite hike or a sun-dappled clearing you found during a camping trip. Or perhaps you create an image of a place you've never been before, a place that exists in photos on your laptop screensaver. Or even still, perhaps it's a piece of fanciful nature that exists only just in your own mind's eye. Take a few whimsical moments to find or create your own special nature haven now. And now, begin to amplify the details of this space. Turn up the lushness of the hues of green that surround you. Slowly turn the dial, tuning into the sounds of the breeze through the trees, the titter of birds floating through the air. Smell the sweetness of the very first buds of spring poking bravely through the terrain. Be here. Be in this moment. Good. Now, I want you to survey your nature surroundings until you find a lush patch of verdant grass. Now begin making your way towards it. In your visualization, glance down towards your socks and shoes and watch yourself mindfully take them off and set them aside. And now, with intention, feel yourself plant your bare feet deep into the cushy grass. Wiggle your feet deep into it until you can feel the firm, cool earth beneath. Be here. Feel your weight spreading from your heels down the arch across the ball of the foot. Feel as each toe makes contact with the earth beneath you. Take a big, deep, delicious breath of fresh air and let it out through an open, relaxed mouth. Feel the gentle bend in your knees that makes you beautifully anchored to the ground beneath you. You are safe here. You are connected to something so powerful here. Feel the way that your body has already begun to ease. How each muscle has already released its tension. You're breathing more deeply. Your mind is slowing. Bring your awareness once again to the sights, sounds, and sensations. Allow yourself the carefree moment for your gaze to meander across the clouds in the sky. Watch them morph and shift as they follow their drifting paths across the endless sky. Be here. Good. Now, in this visualization, feel yourself slowly bend and take up a seated position upon the greenery beneath you. Feel your sit bones pressing firmly into the ground and your pelvis curl gently underneath you. Feel the ease with which your spine aligns as you extend up through the crown of your head. Feel the solidity of the earth beneath you. Feel its stability. Allow yourself now to be held by it. Tune into the comfort that now flows through your body. The relief, the release. You are safe here. You are protected here. You are being held. Feel the support that nature gives you as it offers up its negative charged electrons as a gift to neutralize the positive ion buildup within you. Feel as your connection to this piece of the planet begins to heal you. Allow yourself to receive the healing, the comfort, the support, and the peace. Take one final breath of fresh air deep into your lungs. Thank the earth for its magical gifts, and exhale. When you feel ready, begin to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, and then slowly flutter your eyes open. Thank you for joining me in today's exploration of the magic of earthing. Now get outside and be blessed, be light, and be the magic. I love you.
Be blessed.